Did you know that meticulous garden planning can increase your plant health and garden productivity by up to 60%? That's right, a well-thought-out garden isn't just about aesthetics, it's about creating an environment where your plants can thrive and your garden can flourish. Think of your garden as a canvas and you, the gardener, as the artist. Just as an artist wouldn't start painting without a sketch, a gardener shouldn't start planting without a plan. But what does garden planning entail? It's a process that involves a series of steps, each one as significant as the other. It's about understanding your space, knowing how the sunlight patterns affect your garden, selecting the right plants for your space, and designing your garden for both beauty and functionality. Let's start with the impact of garden planning on plant health and productivity. A well-planned garden provides your plants with the best possible environment for growth. It ensures that each plant gets the right amount of sunlight, water, and nutrients it needs to thrive. It also helps prevent common garden problems like overcrowding, which can lead to disease and poor growth. So, in essence, a well-planned garden is a healthy garden. But the benefits of garden planning go beyond plant health. A well-planned garden can also significantly increase your garden's productivity. Whether you're growing vegetables, fruits, or flowers, the right plan can help you maximize your yield and get the most out of your garden. For example, by strategically placing your plants, you can ensure that each plant gets the right amount of sunlight and space it needs to produce at its best. Now we understand that garden planning might sound a bit daunting, especially if you're new to gardening, but don't worry, we're here to guide you through every step of the process. In this video, we'll cover everything you need to know about garden planning, from assessing your garden space to understanding sunlight patterns, selecting suitable plants, and designing your garden for aesthetics and functionality. So if you're ready to maximize the potential of your garden, keep watching as we delve into the nitty-gritty of garden planning and layout. The first step in garden planning is to assess the space you have. This isn't just about knowing the square footage, it's about understanding how your garden's size and shape will influence your design choices. Is your garden long and narrow, or is it wide and open? Each shape presents unique opportunities for creative designs. Equally important is the type of soil in your garden. Some plants thrive in sandy soil while others prefer clay. Knowing your soil type can guide you in selecting the right plants for your garden. Then there's the question of purpose. What do you want from your garden? Are you creating a peaceful oasis, a productive vegetable patch, or perhaps a vibrant playground for your children? Your garden's purpose will heavily influence its layout and the types of plants you choose. Understanding your space is the foundation upon which successful garden planning is built. The next step involves getting to know your garden's sunlight patterns. Sunlight is the lifeblood of your garden. It's what fuels the growth and development of your plants. But not all sunlight is created equal. The intensity and duration of sunlight your garden receives can significantly affect your plant's health. Think about it like this. Some plants thrive in full sun, soaking up 6 or more hours of direct sunlight each day. Others prefer partial shade, requiring just a few hours of sunlight, while some plants do best in full shade, shielded from the sun's direct rays. So how do you figure out your garden's sunlight pattern? It's a matter of observation. Spend a day watching the sunlight move across your garden. Take note of which areas receive full sun, partial shade, or full shade. Do this throughout the year, to understand how the sun's path changes with the seasons. Knowing your garden's sunlight patterns helps you choose the right plants and place them correctly. Once you understand your space and sunlight, it's time to select the plants. Now this is where the fun begins. After all, what's a garden without its colorful and vibrant inhabitants? The first thing to remember when selecting suitable plants is to be mindful of your garden's conditions. Just like humans, plants too have their likes and dislikes. Some love basking in the full sun, while others prefer the coolness of the shade. Some demand lots of water, others are content with just a sip. Knowing your garden's sunlight patterns, soil type, and moisture levels will help you choose plants that are well suited to your garden's environment. Next, consider your own preferences. Are you drawn to the romantic charm of roses or the easygoing nature of daisies? Do you find solace in the rustling of ornamental grasses or the fragrance of lavender? Remember, your garden is your haven. It should reflect your taste and personality. However, the task doesn't end at picking out your favorite plants. It's equally important to understand their growth requirements and behavior. For instance, some plants grow tall and narrow, others spread out wide. Some have deep roots, others are shallow-rooted. Some are annuals, blooming for just one season, while others are perennials, returning year after year. This information will help you determine how much space each plant needs and how to arrange them for optimal growth. Also remember to consider the wildlife. Choose a mix of plants that will attract beneficial insects and birds to your garden. They not only add to the garden's liveliness but also help in pollination and pest control. Finally, don't forget to factor in the changing seasons. A well-planned garden offers something of interest throughout the year, be it spring blooms, summer fruits, autumn colors, or winter silhouettes. In conclusion, plant selection isn't about picking the prettiest flowers from a catalog, it's about understanding your garden's conditions, your personal preferences, and the plant's needs. It's about creating a harmonious ecosystem where every plant can thrive and contribute to the garden's beauty. Choosing the right plants is a significant step towards a thriving garden. So choose wisely and watch your garden come to life. With your plants chosen, now it's time to design your garden layout for both aesthetics and functionality. Designing a garden is like painting a picture. You're not just placing plants in the ground, you're creating a living, breathing work of art. The principles of design apply here as much as they do in any other art form. Balance, contrast, and repetition are some of the key elements to consider. Balance in garden design refers to the sense of equilibrium we experience when looking at a space. It doesn't mean everything has to be symmetrical, but rather that the visual weight is evenly distributed. For instance, a tall tree on one side of the garden can be balanced with a group of smaller shrubs on the other. Contrast, on the other hand, creates visual interest and excitement. Mix up your plant sizes, shapes, textures, and colors. Put large-leafed plants next to fine-leafed ones, pair bright flowers with dark, lush foliage, or juxtapose a spiky palm with a soft mounding grass. Repetition is another important principle. Repeated shapes, colors, or textures lead the eye through the garden and give it a sense of coherence and unity. But be careful not to overdo it. Too much repetition can make a garden feel monotonous. When arranging your plants, think about their growth habits, size at maturity, and their needs in terms of light, water, and soil. Group plants with similar needs together and place them where they'll thrive. Remember, a happy plant is a beautiful plant. Also, consider the viewpoints from which your garden will be seen. Design it so that it looks good from inside your house, from your favorite sitting spot, or from the street. Finally, don't forget about functionality. Make sure your garden is easy to navigate with clear paths and access to all plants for maintenance and watering. Incorporate seating areas where you can relax and enjoy your beautiful surrounds. A well-thought-out garden design not only looks beautiful, but also promotes plant health and productivity. So why is garden planning and layout so important? You might find yourself pondering this question as you set out to create your own garden sanctuary. Well, the answer lies in the very essence of what makes a garden thrive. A well-planned garden is a healthy garden. When you take the time to plan your garden and lay out carefully, you're essentially setting the groundwork for your plants to flourish. You're considering their individual needs, their compatibility with other plants, and the overall harmony of the garden. Think of your garden as a symphony orchestra. Each plant, like a musician, plays its part in creating a harmonious melody. Just as a conductor plans the arrangement of musicians for the best acoustic effect, a gardener arranges plants for the best growth and visual impact. Careful planning and layout can significantly increase your garden's productivity. By understanding and utilizing the space effectively, you can optimize the number of plants your garden can sustain. Moreover, you can ensure that each plant gets its fair share of sunlight, water, and nutrients, leading to robust growth and a bountiful harvest. But the benefits don't stop at plant health and productivity. A well-laid-out garden is a sight to behold. The thoughtful placement of plants can create a sense of depth, height, and movement, drawing the eye and creating visual interest. It's the difference between a random collection of plants and a living, breathing work of art. Finally, a well-planned garden is a sustainable garden. By selecting plants that are suitable for your local climate and soil conditions, you're not only increasing their chance of survival, but also promoting biodiversity and environmental sustainability. So, in essence, garden planning and layout is a vital step in the gardening process. It's a blend of science and art that leads to a successful, thriving garden. By investing time in garden planning and layout, you're setting the stage for a garden that is not only beautiful, but fruitful and sustainable. So, roll up your sleeves, grab your garden tools, and let's create something beautiful.